one talking about 1969 Chinese tobacco. The notes in this are bergamot, tobacco, red pepper, lemon, ginger, coriander, incense, cedarwood, vanilla, tar, oud, and vetiver. So this is not linear in the sense of the opening is kind of a lot more extreme and a little bit jarring, but by the dry down it's a very classy, clean, woodsy oud that has both kind of a smoky, intense side, but also more of a sweetness and lightness as well. So yeah, as mentioned in the opening, to me, I was not a fan of the opening. That just comes down to my taste though, I think. Very like earthy, bitter, obviously tobacco-y. I saw some people on Fragrantica say it was reminiscent of a cherry cola spilled on a cedarwood table. I would agree with that, especially if the table was also used for rolling a cigar. And maybe that sounds good to you. I'm not a big fan of like cola type of accords, and it's not at all that it's gourmand or anything like that. It's just that kind of like, you know, root type of cola accord with like a little bit of a sort of a cherry tobacco angle maybe, and then some earthy and bitterness, some greenness too with like the coriander. So there's kind of a spice, a pungency, woody, a lot going on there, as well as like a little bit of a lift from the lemon and kind of ginger intensity. I start to like it more as it progresses. It stays in that kind of a little bit more challenging phase for a bit, but by the time it gets to the mid and to the dry down, yeah, it's a pretty refined woods, dry, yet almost like a clove cigarette type of combination of kind of earthy, woodsy, plus the sweetness. And I'm not, to be clear, saying that it smells anything like a clove cigarette, but that style of composition where there's that sweet angle and there's also a much, much earthier, bitter angle, and they're just kind of well balanced together. I would say this leans masculine overall. It's marketed as unisex, and it could definitely be unisex, but if I had to say which way stereotypically it leans, also absolutely more mature leaning. I don't think this would be something that would be as good of a fit for like a teenager, certainly not for something like a casual gym scent or anything like that either. This would be more of a refined scent. It's not like the 10 out of 10 most elegant, fancy type out there, but it's just more kind of on that mature, refined end. This goes for $195 for 100 ml. I think that's pretty fair, given that while it's not my taste in the opening, it does smell high quality. That's definitely not a bad deal for a high-end or just any niche fragrance, really. You can also get a sample for $4. I will put a link in the description where you can get either a bottle or a sample. I think that by the dry down, you don't have to like tobacco to be into this. The tar actually isn't that extreme to me at all on this, and I like tar as a note. The oud also is not the barnyard kind, especially by the dry down. It's pretty refined and you don't have to be a big fan, but you do have to like kind of earthy, dry, woodsy fragrances with maybe like a little bit of a kind of a sweet edge to them. So if that sounds like you, check it out.